guys, Deathscyp here from YCG, your casual gamer. And this episode, using Physic materials and Anim notification, we're going to recreate the sound that you hear over here. So basically there's going to be a line trace that's going to fire down from the character that's going to identify which surface you're going to be stepping on according to the Physic materials that you apply to your floors. So stay tuned. Alright, so first off, you have to make sure you have your footstep sound ready. In my case, I have one for concrete, one for gravel, and one for wood. And basically what I did is I mixed up a few sounds and added them to a randomizer and a modulator. Link in the description below if you want to get those sounds for free. Now, inside the blueprint, you're going to go inside your character, and what I like to do is I like to put them inside a sound-based type variable, because I find it's more clean and you can access that information from anywhere just by doing a cast to the character. If you don't know how to make that variable, simply just make a variable, call it a sound fx, and you go here and you're going to look for sound base, and you're going to have it over here, and you do a reference. When you compile and save, you're going to be able to put your sound right over here as you wish. So let's delete this. So now that you have this ready, if you don't, you can pause the video and get this done, and let's keep going. So what we want over here is we want from our animation, every time the character makes a step, there's going to be a line trace that fires to the ground that's going to identify the type of floor you're stepping on. So to do that, let's jump inside our Anim blueprint. Here we're going to need to make a cast to the character, and it's a little bit different because there's no event begin play inside a blueprint animation. So what we're going to do is instead we're going to do an event on blueprint initialize an animation. So as soon as it initializes its animation state, this is where you can do your cast. We're going to do a cast to first person character, and then from here you could do get player character, but for some reason it doesn't work as intended inside the Anim blueprint. The best way to get the character is to do a try get pawn owner. That's the best way to get your character inside your Anim blueprint, and that's the only place where it's not a get player character. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it gets fired after the character is actually created, but it seems to work that way. So from there, let's promote this to a variable and call it my character. And you can see that I already have that variable, but let's just remake it together, and let's get rid of the other one because I was trying first to see if everything worked, just like always. And now that we have the cast, we're going to be able to access our sounds. Now we need to do the line trace. So inside the animation, we're going to need to add a Anim notify. That's what they call it, an Anim notify. So if you see what's playing in the loop down here, this is your animation right now. You have all your animations on the right over here, and you can just double click to get to another animation. In our case, we're going to stay with the run, but on the timeline, on the frame over here, you could choose anywhere and right click and add a notify. You could play a particle effect, or you could play a sound. And you might think play a sound would mean that's the one we're looking for right now, but that not really, because if you do play a sound, there's going to be that one sound that's going to be played, and in our case we have 3 different sounds, and you want your character to you want your program to be smart enough to know where and what platform are you stepping on depending on the material that you're going to be stepping on. So in our case, you're going to need a new notify, and you can see over here I already have a custom event that I did. We're going to go ahead and delete that, and I left it there because I wanted to show you guys how to delete them once you created it. So let's do our new notify first. Let's do new notify. We're going to call it footstep, and just now it's going to add it to the timeline. And now we're going to go inside manage notifies, and you're going to see now that we have our two different custom event that we did. This one being the one I did before I started recording, and this one is the one we're going to use today. So let's go from here. You can just delete, right click and delete, and then there you go. So if ever you create something that you don't like and you want to get rid of it, that's the way to do it. now that we have our footstep notification, so that what's nice with the notify is it actually creates a custom event that's going to be firing every time that your animation gets to it. You can see the timeline moving on the top over here, and as soon as it gets to here, it's going to play the footstep custom event that we're going to be creating together. So in our stepping, you're going to notice that he sways pretty much left to right at least 3 times inside that timeline before it starts looping again. So I'm going to do I'm going to add a notification for the stepping, one here, one here. It's a little bit more subtle when you are playing with a first person character. It's not like the third person where you actually see his foot stepping every time he makes a step. Us is more, you're going to look at the ends and whether they're on the left or on the right, that's where you do your animation. And let's add another one over here. This is roughly it. You're going to probably come back to it and fix it later, but just for now, let's leave it at this for now. So now we're going to have our footstep. Now we need to call it inside our blueprint. And this is where you're going to use the event. So you're going to do event on, and right away you're going to have Anim notify footstep. So use that, compile and save. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our line trace. Line trace by channel. And our starting position is going to be where the root of our character is. And you can see over here, it's not very visual where it is. Most of these tutorials always shows you with the 3D third-person character. In our case, we're going to use this skeleton over here, and we're going to use the root bone. So this is all your bones for your animation rig, but we're not going to go through that right now. All we need is the root because we know it's the damn center of your character. So just remember the name. You can copy it right over here, Control C from the bone name, and let's go inside back to the blueprint, and we're going to do a get from our character. So control drag the character, get mesh all the way there, and then we're going to do a what was that? It was a Anim get socket location. That's what it is. And then control V the root over here, and this is where the line trace is going to start. Now where it's going to end, we're going to be shooting it below our character so it can identify the type of floor you're stepping on. So let's do a minus vector by vector, and let's do 100 unit. That should be good enough. We're going to draw a debug type just to show if it works for duration because it's 5 seconds. That way we have the time to see that it actually is connected to the floor. And then from here we're going to add an actor to ignore. So from here you're going to do a make array. You could add as many as you want. That could be ignore over here. In our case, there's only the character, so itself. You want to make sure that it ignores itself, and then compile and save. And then we're set to let it work. So let's go see if that works. Save everything and play. Now if I walk around, you're going to see that there's a line trace that fires down and identifies the floors we're stepping on. But we don't have any physic material to answer the call yet. And this is a nice place to take a break.